Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to your favorite show with your favorite bro. Back after a little hiatus. What a crazy week and a half week it was. NBA trade deadline, transfer deadline day across Europe for soccer. Just an eventful week and a half. I hope you guys have had a great time. But now, for the task at hand, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event you have been waiting for. 4 quarters of the most utmost level at the professional level of the NFL. In this one, we are kicking off in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome live from Louisiana, New Orleans. And in this one, on Saquon's birthday, we have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the reigning, defending, back-to-back, looking for a three-peat champions in the Kansas City Chiefs. And in this one, you already know we're going. I know I'm wearing all black. I know it looks like, we're just hating here, but I do have my reasons. Let me explain y'all to why. First of all, it is indoors. It is a fast track. It is turf, which I think does help out Philly and Saquon. I think if you go back and look at Marshall Faulk, one of the greatest running backs, greatest show on turf, Saquon literally is having one of, if not the best season as a running back without even playing in week 17. He can pass TD's records in this game. I know Kansas City has not allowed a 100-yard rusher in almost 20 games in the playoffs, so Spags has a lot riding on it as well. But records are meant to be broken, and someday someone will break that record. And why can it not be Saquon and this offensive line in a turf? I think that kind of helps them out. Last time out in Arizona, it was a very close game. People tend to forget that the way, I don't want to say this dynasty, but this run of a three-peat, where it started was in Arizona. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts going at it. I do believe that contest ended down at 34-31, so throwing the ball, it looks like Jalen Hurts can match up with Patrick Mahomes, no matter how much people want to discredit his running game. And talk about that all black, let me come back to it. Bam, we got flowers up in this t-shirt. Why? Because we are here to give flowers. Yes, we would absolutely hate for Kansas City to win their 3rd straight, win their 4 and 5, already are in 5 Super Bowls in 6 years, so that already kind of burns our soul. But today's about giving flowers. Patrick Mahomes, like we have talked about all season, this has not been one of his best seasons, but when the chips are all in, that man shows up. See, we're not a hater, we give him his credit. You cannot dispute stats and you cannot dispute results, and that man has provided both so far in his career, so I cannot discredit him for that. Am I saying he's not going to show up? I am saying he will show up, especially if it's close. In that 4th quarter, this man's like a boogeyman. He hears that, it's like that Undertaker theme song, just ding ding ding, and Patrick Mahomes just puts on his cape, let's go. So do we think he's going to do that? Yes. But at the same time, I do think he has a turnover or 2 in him in this game. Why? I don't think he trusts that O-line completely. I think this game kind of comes down to the linebacker of Philadelphia Eagles, Nakobe Dean being down, which might be prevalent now. Oren Burks, he's going to have to ball out. He's going to have to be sound. He's going to have to be careful of Patrick Mahomes on those sneak outs. That's going to be the biggest key for the Eagles, is containing Patrick Mahomes in through the line of scrimmage. If he passes that, he's going to pick up yardage and keep the clock running, keep the downs turning. That's going to be difficult for the Eagles. But I do want to go back to preface this. Last game in the NFC Championship, they literally switched out one of their biggest pieces in Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens both only played 1.5 of football, and they still almost put up 50. 5-0. Doesn't matter who it's against. In the NFC Championship, that was the second highest level before this game, and they put up almost 50 with only, getting half the work from their offensive linemen. In this game, both of those guys are going to be playing. They might not be 100%, but the Brandon Graham boost, it being his last game, Landon Dickerson played with him back in the day as well, so he understands the value that Brandon Graham brings to him. Everybody in the organization, they believe in that. It is a revenge bowl for them as well. Like I said, this whole journey for the Chiefs started with the Eagles losing that first matchup in the Super Bowl. So how sweet would it be that they reloaded that defensive back and secondary room. They reloaded with Saquon, and now they are back. Kansas City, on the other hand, they did reload as well. They got D-Hop, they got some other pieces like Xavier Worthy, who might have a play or two here and there. But I think the biggest X factor for the Chiefs will be that Rashee Rice is going to be missing this matchup. I think he provided a security blanket for Patrick Mahomes that, even with D-Hop being there, I think he still has not earned that. It has, not been that long of a time. If they work through that in the off season, I think next season this offense would be absolutely filthy and disgusting to stop. Let me go back to the running game. Saquon, I think they can have some zone moments. Even Jalen Hurts can run the ball a little bit. He doesn't have to have 15 carries. He can have about, 8 to 10 carries. That kind of keeps the ball away from Patrick Mahomes, keep him off the field to put up some points, which the Eagles can't do, throwing the ball or, catching it. I think in this game, though, I do hope that the Eagles try to utilize the slant game with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. I think there might be a little weakness for the Chiefs there, but Spags is going to come up with something. The history between the Eagles, the Chiefs, Andy Reid, all of that meshes. Sirianni coming from Kansas City, I think it's going to be a lot for him to kind of get past his mentor to get over the hump in Philly. It'll mean a lot for the city. I think that's going to be energized. But going back to it, man, Brandon Graham, the legend for Philly, I think they're going to do it for him, and Philly takes it. Catch y'all.